Hello, welcome back to Table Space. My name is Dylan. This is Table Space, your place for all things tabletop gaming. It's been a few days since I made a video, but I hope all of you had a great Labor Day weekend. And looking forward to next week. Thankfully, it's only a 4-day week and we're back to the weekend. But my Labor Day was quite awesome. My daughter, my wife, and my brother and me, we got to play Hero Quest over the weekend. Now, Hero Quest, I picked it up last summer, I want to say maybe last June. And when I got it, I opened it up on my living room floor. And my daughter and I just kind of took out all the miniatures and all the little terrain pieces and just kind of just played pretend on the board. And we had so much fun. And then we played it with the app one time not long after that. But then every time that my daughter and I wanted to play Hero Quest, we would call it Pretend Hero Quest, where we just kind of make up our own little stories and just kind of walk around to different rooms and fight the bad guys and save our friends. And this was last year, and I just wanted to see if I could try to play with her again, invite my brother over, and actually have her play as the real game with the character, hero, and everything. And I know on the box it says it's made for kids 14 and up, but I feel like Hero Quest is simple enough where she could kind of grasp the idea and roll some dice and learn how to do a little bit some basic math. She's only in kindergarten right now, but she's pretty smart. She's a smart kid, and we did it. At first, she was actually nervous. Like, hey, when Bubby or Maverick or my son, when he goes to bed, do you want to play Hero Quest? She's like, oh yeah, I want to play. And then we're like, okay, well, we're not going to play Pretend Hero Quest. Okay, we're going to play the real one. She's like, I'm okay. I don't want to play. And I could tell she wanted to, but she's kind of nervous with like new things or things that I guess aren't her idea. Because she can be very bossy, which I guess is a good thing. We'll see when she gets older. But she said, no, I was like, oh, come on, come and play. Come play Real Hero Quest and see if you like it. And so she decided to. And her character was Eyeball the Barbarian. And Eyeball was, instead of being the barbarian miniature that comes in the box, she was a little yellow pom-pom arts and crafts ball. Because she was playing with arts and crafts earlier that day. She was making like a little dragon out of a toilet paper roll and using the pom-poms as like eyes, and they weren't staying on because we didn't have any hot glue, so we were just using tape and they kept coming off. She was like, no, I don't want to play this guy, I want to play Eyeball. I was like, oh, okay, is that your character's name, Eyeball? She's like, yes, Eyeball the Barbarian. And so we played our little adventure, and they ended up not opening all the rooms because, well, the dwarf and the wizard and the elf were all kind of beat up and casted all their spells, and they didn't want to really fight anymore, so they decided to leave. And as soon as the game was over, she's like, oh, okay, can we go back and see what was in those other doors? So she had a good time. I hope that we can play again next weekend and make that a little maybe family tradition where on Sundays or something we get together and all play Hero Quest together. That was so much fun. It definitely was a core memory for me. I'm so happy that I picked Hero Quest and made a decision because I was kind of going back and forth on having her play or just inviting my brother over and playing. I'm so glad that I decided to do that. And this video is kind of going to be me talking about that, making sure, I write my thoughts down, as it were, in this video, so that way I can hopefully come back to this video in the future when I need to and look back on this moment and make sure it stays ingrained in my mind for the years to come. Just in case, as time goes forward, she doesn't want to necessarily play these board games anymore, and she's too cool for that. We'll see. Teenager, when she becomes a teenager. But, Hero Quest gets a bad rap. It's too simple. There's no depth. That's kind of the point. I think people forget that this game was made in 1996 or something like that, with the intent of getting kids into like D&D basically. And we've all grown up, and nostalgia is real. But at the same time, you know, meet the game at the game's level. And just like with fifth edition, I used to think fifth edition was a simple game, but then as I've started to teach more new players, which is one of my favorite things to do, is expose people to tabletop role playing games and kind of open it up and realize what kind of awesome game, awesome hobby that is my tune has changed, so to say. Like, I don't think D&D 5th edition is a simple game. I mean, compared to Pathfinder, sure, yeah, it's definitely more simple, or Warhammer Fantasy, the old versions. But yeah, 5th edition is a very complicated game, and Shadow Dark was another reason that my eyes kind of opened up to that. But kind of cutting back, people complained that 5th edition was simple, and that 5th edition, that all the rules weren't all spelled out. And man, Hero Quest is the same vein. It's very simple. Yeah, all the rules are spelled out, but the system is designed in such a way that it's so simplistic that you really can take the rules and turn Hero Quest into pretty much whatever you want. And I don't know, it's so freeing, man, because we really can kind of get what we want and actually really hate the result. I mean, just look at what's going on in today. Just look at where D&D is going. Just look at where all these video games are going. We're getting the crunch. We're getting the depth, and it's just like, what can you really do with that? Can you really tell your own story? Like, or are you just having to go along with whatever's planned? And I don't know. I much prefer to have the bits and pieces, the puzzle, and just be free to do whatever I want with it. And sure, I mean, it is yours. You can do whatever you want with it, like 5th edition, for example. But Pathfinder, can you really do that? I feel like it's just written in a way where it's so structured that if you pull too many things apart, you end up going to break something. And 5th edition, to an extent, too. I mean, I've been playing it for so long that I'm able to kind of understand the system and how it works in a well enough way that I can take things apart and it'll be fine. But something like Hero Quest or Shadow Dark, dude, that's just ground zero. It's just asking you to take it and make it your own. And I feel like we need to do that more often today, because too much is being taken away or being sold on just the thought and of nostalgia alone. And there's just no, as much depth as modern entertainment has, it actually is pretty shallow if you actually look at it all. So yeah, Hero Quest. If you have kids, go on Amazon and just keep your eyes up. The game is constantly on sale every other month. I know it's retails for a little over $100. I mean, I bought my copy for like $60. Apparently in the UK it was on sale for like $30 a few weeks ago. Like, this game is constantly on sale, and there's so many expansions for it at this point. There just came out with Joe Manganiello's game campaign. There's rumors of the Wizards of Morcar coming out, one of the most famed expansions, I feel like. So yeah, just pick it up and play with your kids and just go on an adventure with them. I've told some of my other friends who want to get into D&D with their kids to just play Hero Quest, and from what I understand, they're like, oh, well, we know 5th edition, so we'll just stick to that. But man, Hero Quest is just so easy. You can teach it to literally anyone. Cool. So, continuing the Metal Gear Solid paint. This is Meryl. I have Otacon painted up. Check my YouTube shorts if you want to see it. Otacon came out pretty well. So, continuing on with the heroes. This is Meryl, and then I've got her undisguised version over here that we'll be painting up next. So, yeah. Did you guys see the price increase for Games Workshop coming up in October? Man, that really kind of upset me. Like, why is there yet another price increase for this game? It won't be too long before they price me out of the hobby, just because I don't want to pay those crazy prices for models. I play Soul Blight and Age of Sigmar, the vampires, and that zombie dragon cost me $200. I still haven't painted it yet. I mean, what am I doing? I love the models. Don't get me wrong; it looks badass, but man, is it worth $200? I don't really know. I don't know how they're gonna sustain this. I mean, I know it's a popular IP. People are gonna buy it, but man, whew, at what point is enough gonna be enough? And I guess the answer to that question is when people decide to stand up and stop buying, stop paying those prices for those products. We'll see what's gonna happen. And kind of funny realization I had over the weekend too is my son, he's gonna be 2 at the end of the year, and I had some green ornament in my attic I found a while back, and I pulled it out of my attic and gave it to my daughter. She never really played with it, but then I put it in my son's room, and then one day we just opened it up and started playing with the ornament, just kind of making noises and throwing them around. And I feel kind of stupid saying this, but I'm like, wait, holy shit, this is just like Warhammer. And I was like, well, of course it is. Like, where do you think the idea of Warhammer comes from? It just kind of hit me, and it's like, a game like that, we try to take it seriously, and it's like got some deep lore and like cool ideas, and everything has a purpose, and it's very structured, and but just zooming out, like, yeah, well, we're literally just playing Army Men just like we did as kids, just with some rules and some structure. And I completely didn't even make that connection. I feel so stupid. But it's just one of those things where when you're head, neck deep in something, and I guess it consumes a lot of your time and attention, you forget how, in hindsight, it's kind of trivial in a way. It's fun. It's imagination provoking, but it's ornament just like when we were kids. And then even then, that takes me to whenever teaching people the hobby of D&D or tabletop games. They're like, oh well, I don't really have an imagination. It's like, dude, we all have one. You can't tell me you don't have an imagination. If you were a kid, you literally had to have one. Like, I've just seen it with my kids, other kids. Like, you have an imagination. It's just like with me not connecting Green Ornament to Warhammer. Life gets so crazy and so busy that you just kind of forget what makes you and things you used to do. And it's things like Hero Quest and wargaming like Warhammer, or something simpler or something cheaper that can really rekindle your imagination and rekindle your childhood, and I think make us happy. I saw something today, and I'm not saying I believe it wholeheartedly, but apparently midlife crisis is supposedly starts at the age 33. And I mean, I turned 33 a few months ago. I'm a fresh 33-year-old, but I don't feel like I'm in any kind of midlife crisis at all. I feel like I have my purpose. I feel like I know where I'm at. I definitely am I where I want to be? Yeah, I would say so. And do I like where I'm going? Yeah, I think I like where I'm going too. So I wonder if by the time I hit 34 or by the time I hit 50, if I'm going to actually go through a midlife crisis or not. Right now, I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm just going to stay a kid. As a nurse, the most, for those of you out there listening, the best advice I've got from all the patients that I've taken care of was don't grow old. And so I guess I'm trying my best to do that, and I'm trying to do that by staying in tune with my inner child, trying to be healthy, trying to make smart decisions, trying to keep my mind busy and just trying to do what I find fun, not necessarily what I'm supposed to do. Like I love my job, don't get me wrong, but if you ask me about my career isn't what I do to get a paycheck. My career is my family, my kids, my wife, and if maybe one day if I'm lucky, my career will be table space. So we'll see if that helps in me and preventing me from getting old. But let's get this week knocked out. What you think? Any of you had any good weekend plans that came to fruition over Labor Day weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're going to play Hero Quest, or if you're interested in me talking about Hero Quest or some more content around that, let me know in the comments down below. And if there's anything you would like me to talk about or just give my opinion on, just kind of ramble on about, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, take care, peace out, see you guys in the next video.